What's going on, football overseas? I'm Kevin from Blaugrana Zone. I'm bringing you La Liga Match Day 20 predictions. We're going to jump right into it. First off, we've got Espanyol versus Girona. Espanyol tied most recently to Levante. They had that loss to Barcelona previously. And Girona actually won their game against Osasuna. Not very impressive for Girona standards, but I think Espanyol have had the better form, considering that they played a pretty good game against Barcelona, tied to Levante. Maybe Girona could bring some of that winning energy. I just really don't see it from them. I'm going to give the win to Espanyol. Next up, we've got Real Madrid versus Levante. Going to be a great game. Maybe even a good hate watch if I'm lucky. But obviously, I think Real Madrid is not going to go on a losing streak across all three competitions. I think they'll be able to pick up this win against Levante. Next up, we've got Mallorca versus Atletico Bilbao. Mallorca lost to Rayo Vallecano recently, and Atletico Bilbao for Matchday 19, they lost to Real Madrid 3-0. For that reason, I'm going to give... this one's really tough because neither team is good. This is honestly the battle of mid. And I'm going to give the win to Mallorca. Up next, we've got Osasuna versus Real Oviedo. Osasuna, as I mentioned previously, they lost to Girona, which is very, very low, even for mid-table standards, versus Real Oviedo. Real Oviedo, which is a newly promoted club in La Liga, they tied to Real Betis. So, honestly, neither club is doing well, but I think Real Oviedo is doing just that much better. For that reason, the win, I think, will go to Real Oviedo. Up next, we've got Real Betis versus Villarreal. Real Betis, as I just said, tied against Oviedo. And Villarreal, which is coming off of honestly, a pretty back-and-forth game from last week. Villarreal against Deportivo Alaves, but it ended up in their win. That's going to be a really tough game to decide as well, just because I think Betis are a team that can catch fire really out of nowhere with a pretty good attack. I'm going to give the win to Real Betis. Up next, we've got Getafe versus Valencia. Valencia coming off of a tie to Elche, and Getafe is coming off of a loss to Real Sociedad. Sociedad is one of those teams that's very difficult, so I'm really not going to fault Getafe that much. The fact that they at least kept themselves in it shows a lot of Getafe. Valencia, punching bag of a team. I've said this so many times. I'm going to give the win to Getafe. Deportivo Alaves versus Atletico Madrid. As I said, Alaves had that loss to Villarreal, and Atletico Madrid lost to Barcelona for Matchday 19. But I don't think that Atletico Madrid will stoop so low as to lose to Deportivo Alaves as well, you know? Like, yeah, they're bad, but are they that bad? I hope not. Because it would just look bad for Spain that our top flight teams are going to lose to Deportivo Alaves. So just to stay on the positive side, I'll give the win to Atletico de Madrid. Up next, we've got Celta Vigo versus Rayo Vallecano. Celta coming off of a win against Sevilla, and Rayo Vallecano coming off of a win against Mallorca. Neither win is all that impressive, but I would give the edge to Celta Vigo as they've had the better form and they beat the better team. So win for Celta Vigo. Next up, Sociedad versus Barcelona. Sociedad is coming off of a win, and so is Barcelona. Barcelona has 11 consecutive wins to be exact, and Sociedad have all the momentum to break that streak. They've historically been a difficult game for us away, and that's exactly what it's going to be on Sunday. But honestly, I'm going to back my team with no questions. Hansi Flick will make it 12 consecutive wins in a row, 3 points, and a win for Barcelona. It'll be a huge win too. Last but not least, we've got Elche versus Sevilla. Sevilla coming off of a loss to Celta. Love to see Sevilla in the mud. And Elche coming off of a tie to Valencia. Honestly, I'm going to give the win to Elche. I want to continue to see Sevilla in the mud, but that's just me. I just really dislike Sevilla for what they did to Barcelona, and trust that we will get our lick back in March when we go against Sevilla once again. Let me know what you guys think about these predictions. Let me know if your team is picking up 3 points this weekend. Because the league leaders, my team will definitely be picking up 3 points this weekend. I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Football Overseas, and I'll see you next time.